Hey guys, HuShang here. Welcome to another analysis series where we break down the games of viewers and students. If you're new to the channel, I'm a top grandmaster with several years of experience coaching StarCraft 2. If you're interested in improving and getting some one-on-one sessions, you can visit my website at hushangcoaching.com. So today we have a TVT from one of my gold students. He's really close to platinum, and we're just going to take a look and see what's going wrong, see what he can improve, and hopefully you guys are also learning along the way. So yeah, let's take a look. So we already have him going up against a platinum opponent. My student here is in the top left, so we're mostly going to be focusing on him. Now I've given him a pretty basic build order that's good in all the matchups, so he's not going to be playing anything TVT specific yet. Usually I give students some more specific matchup builds once they get to platinum. Coming in here, getting some intel, so his opponent's opening up gas list, and he's just opening up with a basic expand, like I said. So I think this part of the game is going to be fine. Some crazy gold plays. We've got an expansion in the top here. This is pretty common, anywhere from bronze through platinum, so you probably want to have it in your repertoire to be looking for these things. But okay, the Reaper comes in here and scouts. Actually, this is a big tell already. I've already watched this replay, but I didn't. I sent him a little bit of feedback, but I figured I might as well do an analysis series. And the first time I watched this, I didn't. I was on ×8, so I didn't notice that he proxied this base so early. But if you're scouting here as the blue Terran and you come in, and there's no expansion, and there's no really fast tech, like compared to yours. So here you have a Rax, but then back home, you also just have a Rax. So he should have a lot more tech in his base if he's, not expanding super quick. So this is a pretty huge tell that he's proxied something. So as soon as you see like an empty base, definitely go scout the whole map. Okay, but being pretty annoying with this Reaper. Definitely people at this level are going to get flustered by these small attacks. And Evil Inciple is just adding on some barracks. It's a pretty basic build, just 3 barracks, get a factory, get your starport. Okay, adding on some bunkers. I think this is a pretty good choice, given what he's seen, right? He's only seen 1 barracks. And so it's pretty likely that there's some proxy tech. Now we know it's expansions here, but from his point of view, it could be proxy factory, proxy starport. So I think this is a good choice, but definitely needed to also scout around for possible expansions or just even where the proxies are. I think that'll help him quite a bit, and maybe even just like a scan here in a little bit to confirm whether it actually is a proxy all-in or whether it's just like late tech. Okay, stim on the way, making some marines. This is all pretty good. I've guided him to cut workers a little bit when you're worried about an all-in, so that's what he's been doing to get this defense up. But now that he's kind of got that set up and he's making units constantly, there's no reason to not make workers again, so that's solid. And again, I would really like him to just scan here and just see what's going on, like try to confirm the game state, because he had an idea of where the game was, which was actually good, but nothing's really happened that's kind of showed him that he was correct. Like there wasn't a big attack at the beginning. Sorry, still a bit sick. So nothing's really happened to show him that his opponent was all in, so he should probably start thinking of other possibilities. And this does become a big factor later in the game, as we'll see, so definitely something to think about. Okay, swapping our stuff over, so we just have a 3 barracks starport factory setup, which is super common on 2 bases. So if you're a beginner player and you're looking for like a build, I would just recommend you just get to this setup no matter how you do it. It's not really a big deal what build you open up with. Third CC. This is pretty well timed. Now, this is well timed, but it is a bit blind, right? Like, we scouted the early game and we know that this opponent was on one base. We don't know whether he's expanded just yet. So in the future, dropping this CC should come after a scout. So whether you have a Reaper and you want to just come in here and see if there's a CC, or just scan here and just see. So if we scan right now, you're gonna see no expo, and this is like a huge red flag, right? If you look at our saturation, we're basically full. So if you scan right now before this third CC and you still see no expansion, then there's only two possibilities, right? He's either completely all in and he's for some reason not attacking at 6 minutes in the game, which is super late, or he's got a proxy base. So I mean, this should become really obvious at this point that this is happening if you drop a scan, right? So that's a big thing he should add here. I actually think he is quite strong for a gold player, but he's missing out on these, key scouts that would lead him to realizing what's going on. I mean, look at the macro already, 42 to 38. Quite a bit more solid production setup. So yeah, much stronger than gold. Just needs to add on a few key things here. I just noticed how many turrets this guy has. Typical gold play to just throw down tons and tons of turrets. Really not a good investment if you're doing this in the early leagues. You want to try to stop and work on something else. Work on getting up actual units, because although these are okay at defending drops, they don't really defend you in all locations, right? Like once you take a new base, you're gonna not have any defense there. So it does become a problem as you take more bases. Okay, going up to 5 racks, 2 factory, 2 starport. This is probably a little bit too much, well, not a little bit, quite a bit too much production. Really, you don't want to be adding quite this many production facilities. Probably what he should have right now is just 5 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, and not really have these extra ones, because you're not going to be able to make depots and units constantly and have all this production. Save you guys hearing me cough. Okay, so yeah, this army can really just go around the map and kill these bases if he did realize what was going on earlier. But now that they're kind of sitting here for quite a while, he is losing quite a bit of, well, not losing, but he's not really gaining anything from having this many expansions over his opponent. He is up a little bit in supply, but yeah, really these should have been denied like really fast in the game. And so he should be in an amazing spot right now, but it's really just okay-ish. And you can salvage these bunkers. I'm not sure if he knows that, but you can click on them and press V, and they'll return 75% of the minerals, which is nice. Not all of it, but still pretty good. Making some ravens. Ravens are probably not necessary here, but that's okay. Okay, adding on some more production. Again, this is way too much production. Probably a better investment would be maybe another base or two. If you go to the main, you can see this is running out. This is going to be running out very soon. So at least a 4th base would be great, maybe even a 5th at this point in the game. Also, if you have less production early on, you can max out faster. So this max out could have been at like 9:30 instead of 11:30, and that would have let him attack quite a bit earlier, which could have been handy as well. But I mean, he's doing a great job macroing. He's got 2-2 on the way. His opponent's at 0-0 bio, I think, just starting 1-1 mech. So he's super far ahead. Just want to see his cam here. So he scanned ahead. He sees a lot of Vikings, and just where's the 3rd tank? Just 3 tanks. And one's not even siege. So yeah, he can definitely run in here, especially with especially with the Raven disable. If he wants. Didn't quite get those off. Okay, so sieging up, patiently moving forward. This is not a terrible idea. I think with just 3 tanks, he definitely could have stimmed in here, but this is nice to see. He's kind of just denying this base. I see a lot of platinum players, gold players overextend pretty quick, and oftentimes just denying the expansion is a good idea. Yeah, so no problem just running in here. Maybe this attack could have been a little bit better orchestrated. So right here, when you want to come in, it's a little bit better if you click over here to move. And that might seem a little bit weird at first, but the idea being if you click over here, your army is going to make a line from here to here. And when you make a line like that, your army is very well spread out. And then after that line's been created, you can A-move over here. Instead of A-moving here right away, which is going to cause some problems, as we'll see in a sec, where this army kind of just groups up into a ball. And the reason this is bad is because the tanks are going to be doing a lot of AoE. So if you come in here, you'll see that, several of these Marines are getting shot at. So you want to be careful about that. You want to try to make a line first. But he has way too much. His army is much better upgraded, so this is good. Okay, so he's broke that base. So from his position, he's in an amazing spot. He's broken the 3rd. He's up 3 bases to 2, but we know that there's some hidden expansions. So once you get a position like this, you really want to make sure that you're actually winning. So let's have him. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so basically broken. Maybe a scan is due here just to make sure that there's not a some tanks up here and you can actually break them. In this case, he's pretty well defended, so you really can't go up that ramp. So what you want to do is just kind of deny this base and then just make sure you're ahead. That should be the first thing that comes into your head. Deny this base, just kind of sit your army here, and then send maybe 1 Marine to each of these bases and 1 Marine to each of these bases. And just make sure that he doesn't have another base. And you're going to be super, super far ahead. You can just remax and wait patiently, and eventually he's gonna have to do something, and you can win. Or you can have like 200 supply and tons of money in the bank and just keep throwing stuff at him. But you want to be patient. You don't want to lose your position over here and let him come back in the game, which I think is what happens here. So this is where the game should have kind of maybe not ended, but secured the win right here. See, we have a bunch of straggler units over here as well. So in the future, he's going to want to just take this position and scout everywhere, make sure there's no other bases on the map, and then just be very, very patient with ending the game, especially in TVT. TVT is just a crazy, crazy matchup where you have a crazy defender's advantage, and it's really easy to throw games. Yeah, so a bit of missed micro here, taking some extra damage. I think a lot of his attention right now is focused in this area as well, when it should be, back here, making sure you're expanding at a good rate. We can see here that the natural is already running out, so that means we should have a 5th, and our 4th is only just completing, and this base is also empty. So I mean, we should probably have this whole side of the map already, so 6 bases, but we're just getting our 4th. So doing that a bit quicker would have given him quite a bit more bank, which would be helpful in winning this game. So he does finally find this expansion. That's good. That is something that's been hurting us quite a bit here. In fact, these bases this base is pretty much mined out, so it's actually not too bad for the opponent that got killed. This one too is almost done. Okay, big amount of Vikings coming in. So this is going to get pretty tricky. We're super out of position here. And it looks like the red Terran here has quite a few tanks, so it's not really an option to counterattack. So this is kind of unfortunate. Really, the problem here is just that we don't have vision. So that's another thing that you can be doing once you get a nice position, is just taking control of the whole map, right? So right here, this wasn't really a sneaky move out with these Vikings. They went right through a tower. So I mean, something you could do as the blue Terran here is get some sensor towers, which he has done. And these are great, actually. These are really great. And you can also grab the towers. That would give you a little bit more vision, maybe around this area and over here. So that would be super helpful. And then just make sure you don't have any blind spots. So like we can see these towers are quite good around the main area of the map, but we really have a huge gap over here on the top. So maybe you need a sensor tower here as well. And maybe you even want to have some spotters, you know, covering the middle of the map. So here would be good, at the top would be good, and then maybe in the middle. And if you do all those things, you're going to have vision from like here, straight through the middle of the map, all the way down here. So I mean, if he tries to move out with Vikings, when you have that much vision, you're going to know way in advance. Like if you saw him here, and your army's here, you can easily get back to your base to defend. So really important, if you don't want to be losing to these crazy tactics, then you need some map vision. And you're gonna lose a lot of games when you're in the lower leagues to stuff like this, and it's gonna feel super random, like you didn't know it was coming. All of a sudden you got 20 Vikings, 30 Vikings in your base. It's just frustrating. But yeah, really what you need to do is master the basics, and then these things will start being just silly at some point. Okay, so we did kill some of the Vikings. He's pulling back. I would be really scared in this position because, again, we don't know where these Vikings are. Like, they did fly away, but they could easily have just been sitting here and come back in like right now, so as soon as you have something like this happen and you see there's a problem with vision over here, you want to fix that immediately. So maybe a Marine comes here temporarily, or you build a sensor tower immediately, but solve the problem if a problem comes up. Okay, rebuilding our production. That's a good thing, good call for sure. 2 factory, 5 barracks, 4 barracks, and 2 starport. Not bad. Yeah, and I think Cowboy should have been behind this game, but he's really not. Like, he's got a decent amount of tanks. His army composition is definitely a lot better. It's a lot more of a tech-heavy composition, which is usually not good to do because your opponent cannot expand you. But in this case, the blue Terran hasn't really been taking expansions as fast as he should have. So he's our opponent's starting to get maxed, and he's starting to get a really, really nice army, and we're still on these basic units. So this can be okay, but you need to make sure that you're not having just one fight to decide the game, because your army is going to lose if it's less tech heavy. So you really want to fight your opponent like here or at his third, and then remax, and then have another fight, and then you'll be good. So I think this is a big mistake, coming down to this base. And the problem here is that your whole army is at this location. So let's say these Vikings were up here again. It's going to be really hard to get back to our main. So it's going to be really hard to get back there. So probably a better idea. This isn't even a planetary, so just send like 1 medevac and 8 Marines or something. Not a lot of units, and just kill the SCVs, and that'll be it. Or just target down the base and get out of here. Right, like if he leaves right now, it's not going to be a problem. If he comes back to like center of his base, it shouldn't be a problem. But I think he idles here for a little bit, and that allows this air army to get quite a big distance advantage over him. So I mean, by the time he gets back here, he's losing a ton of SCV. He's going to lose his production again. It's just super annoying. Okay, I think this is a move command right now. Yeah, so a big move command there. is what lost him this fight. And yeah, that's really unfortunate because this is his production, so he can't really remake units right now. And I think he wins this fight with an A move. And maybe a scan to kill the Banshee. So that was a really unfortunate fight for sure. So he does clean up most of the army. He's got some starports. He should be making a ton of Viking here. Especially after seeing the composition of Cowboy. Marines definitely are not the answer to battlecruiser. 8 Viking on the way for Cowboy. It's going to be hard to get back the air control. And yeah, Evil Invincible did lose his advantage, the income advantage. So, I mean, he doesn't really have any advantages anymore in this game, to be honest. Maybe the ground upgrades, I guess. But yeah, we were in such a great position this game. It's kind of a tragedy what happened, but you know, we learned some things, I guess. Yeah, there's really no... I mean, you can win this game, but it's going to be extremely hard. Like we're down 10 tanks. We're just making Marine Marauders, so it's difficult, right? I think if you're playing a game like this, you don't really want to think about what you can do better at this time. You want to go back and see, you know, where the problem started. And I think they all started with lacking vision at this area of the map. And maybe the expansion rate as well. I mean, even if we just didn't make like a tower over here or put a marine over here, if we just took this expansion faster, we would have had some vision, you know, in front of our main base, so we wouldn't have lost our production, and maybe even that would have been enough. But yeah, I think this game is over, unfortunately. But yeah, some things you can work on for sure. Definitely quite a few things to work on. So hopefully this was helpful. I know we haven't finished this game, but surprise, he doesn't survive. He's just gonna get picked apart here. He doesn't really have the amount of units he needs to defend, or the money, or the production, so it's just an uphill battle. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This was an analysis series. If you guys are looking for some one-on-one coaching yourself, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can go to HuShangCoaching.com. You can see my reviews there, you can see my prices, and yeah, I'd love to be your coach and help you out. So thanks for watching, guys. This is another analysis series, and I'm going to do an Alpha Star video right after this. So yeah, hit the like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.